I'm not saying any one of these are necessarily outdated. Like, for example, Jimmy Dore is still great. But to understand this kind of lineage of how popular consciousness is evolving, and the one thing we have to absolutely be vigilant of is that this, right, gets hijacked by the Democrats. We have a different chronology. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is this lineage transcends the duopoly, okay? But this is the history of the American Communist Party. This is the history of a single People's Party. This is the history of an evolving new kind of evolution of American revolutionary popular consciousness that transcends Democrat and Republican. This is the people's history of the USA. This is the hope and salvation of the American people. And the Democrats will try to frame this as just Trump. And that's how they're going to obviously try, and they probably are already trying to hijack whatever's going on in Minneapolis and Minnesota. But our job, you know what our job is? Our job is to maintain this ledger as one history. Our job is to maintain where everything comes from. Okay, our job is to say, this comes from this comes from this, these come from this is where this comes from, this is the lineage, this is the actual lineage, it comes from these things. Why is that important to keep the record straight? Because these are all, like, look, this was underdeveloped, okay, this was nascent, but this rational kernel has been drawn out over time, and is evolving into something that cannot properly be articulated or described within the current cognitive mapping of U.S. politics, but it transcends the duopoly for certain. And we have to maintain this ledger. And why is it important we maintain the ledger? Okay, why maintain the ledger? Simple. To make people understand this is not the history of the Democratic or Republican Party. This is their history, the history of the American people. This is a unique, independent chronology of how people's consciousness is developing at the expense of duopoly, narratives, gatekeeping, and discourse. That's why. It's not because we think it's sacred that, oh, you came from this Bernie Sanders line. No, it's that we need to maintain the ledger. So to make people aware that all this time, they are the secret. All this time, the secret of everything that's happening in U.S. politics, everything new, it comes from the people. And it transcends the duopoly. Everything comes from the people. They are the makers of history. Just like in Juche and the DPRK, they say, the people are the masters of history. People don't know that this is their evolution going on. It's not the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. It's the American people waking up and realizing that this entire time they've been occupied, that they don't have popular sovereignty. They don't have their own republic. They don't have their own representative government. They don't have their own fucking leaders, and they don't have their own institutions. They're realizing that all this time they were being fucking psyoped and brainwashed. And that is the lineage we need to preserve. We can't allow this to be hijacked into a lineage that says, well, Trump won in 2024 and he upset the norm. Biden was trying to take us back to normal. We need to go back to Obama. It's like, no, we go forward. We go forward. We can't let them try to fucking erase the lineage, because if they try to erase the lineage, we can't go forward where we need to go. Because all roads end with ACP. See, you can go in this direction, or you can take a U-turn and you can let the Democrats gaslight you and Obama. No, fuck Obama. We're not going back. This is a single chronology that concludes in something brilliant, something magnificent, something meaningful. This is a genuine history and real evolution of American revolutionary consciousness. It's brilliant. It's being neglected. It's being ignored. It's being Anglo-boxed into, oh, Democrat, Republican, libtard, conservative. It's none of those things. It's something entirely unique. And it belongs only to the people, not to the regime, not to the shills of the regime, not to the Zionists, not to the fucking British king and queen. It belongs to the American people alone. It's theirs, and they don't even know it. They have been the ones evolving and changing and learning. They've been learning. Don't forget your lessons. Don't forget you have been waking up and learning. And we're the only ones who believe in the people. We're the only ones who believe and understand their capacity to learn in the way that they are. But we need to have confidence in our understanding and knowledge of this. And we need to provide leadership that gives them and instills them the consciousness to own up to their own evolution and history. Do you understand how important that task is? Nobody is giving the people the confidence to understand that you started out a retard, brainwashed, but there's a specific escape, runaway trajectory where you have been learning and slowly waking up on your own terms and at your own pace, but you've been waking up to something. And people say, no, they forget the sparks of brilliance that are instilled by them by the grace of God. They forget. But they don't understand that they are in the light of a divine grace that is pulling them forward to an awakening that puts them in the driver's seat of history, that recognizes the people as the master of history.